First, there are a lot of things we can do. And I just want to say that to begin with. We're not disempowered, but we can see the forest for the trees. Your people cannot see the forest for the trees when they're experiencing a heightened sense of misplaced dependency. They're not on a TLC call. They're not being made aware of this phenomenon when they're feeling it. So this is the first and most important thing, is to educate ourselves on this phenomenon and then bring that education to our people. Now, 5 specific things that we can do, and these are identical to what we would have done for ourselves, but we're flipping the megaphone around. First and most important thing, we talk about mindset all the time here. Our job as leaders is to purposefully plant alternative narratives. Purposefully plant alternative narratives amongst the other narratives that might be causing people to feel powerless. Oh, did you hear that so-and-so got sold? Yeah. Did you also hear about those 2 new companies that just started? Wow, entrepreneurs are entering the business. Oh, I read that 200,000 agents could leave the business. That's true, except that in Naples, Florida, their new agents classes have been bigger than ever, 175 people a month in their new orientation. Like, we've got to purposefully plant alternative narratives, and we might need to go seek some out if we don't have handy ones. And the more local, the better, right? But we've got to be able to do that. We've done this before. I do this in fact, in this morning's speech, I did this. I basically said, hey, I am old enough to remember when we had 3 recessions, a general major crisis, a REO crisis, a banks in the business, portals in the business, discounters in the business, iBuyers in the business. All of those things happened, a pandemic, even the famous murder hornets. They've all tried to put us out of business. And not only are we all still here, but many organizations are having their best year ever, right? Purposefully planting alternate narratives. That's number 1. And I'm going to go a little deeper into these in a second. Number 2, create winning opportunities. People can believe that there are ways to win, but they believe themselves most of all. So you've got to create fresh opportunities for someone to have an I won moment. And frankly, that can be done in a classroom. That could be done in a classroom. That could be done in a call night. When you say, hey, come on, let's do call night and pizza, and let's see how many appointments we can set, and let's chalk up our wins and have everybody experience a tiny little victory, a tiny little win. You don't have to solve everything. You just got to get them to put some points on the board so they realize, oh, yeah, you know what? Action creates results. Good. Third thing you can do, call out more and more small victories in coaching sessions or in meetings. We talked last week about kicking off our office meetings with one good thing, and actually heard from a couple of you, sent me some notes saying I did one good thing in my meeting, and my brokers were blown away at 20 people all saying that they had some tiny little win. Personal, professional, doesn't matter, but being a source of celebration wherever you can. Number 4 is get people together in ways that create positive co-experiences. Philanthropy is always a great example of this, but it could be anything. It could be we're going to have a softball team this spring. We're going to do a food drive this spring. We're going to do a trash cleanup this spring. Get them together in doing some positive physical experience, but it doesn't have to actually only relate to their business. Just teamwork. Just leverage something out of a cultural value and take advantage of a chance to get them together. And whoever can attend, don't create stress around it, but you should be able to do many of those things frequently. And then last but not least, teach some coping skills. And again, we don't have to be therapists here, but we can teach some essential coping skills to help people realize they have a little more resilience than they might believe. They have a little more empowerment than they otherwise would expect of themselves. And this is a phenomenon that's not self-healing. Someone else has to show up and say, I think you can do this. Now, these are the 5 things you can do. I think it's up to us to decide which ones do my people need right now and which ones can I take rapid action on. So here are 5 questions. What I'd love for you to do is this. Hello, I'm Matthew Ferrara. Thanks for visiting the Leadership Club, a special place for owners, managers, and executives to focus on their growth as leaders in their firms and the industry. You can join TLC as a free subscriber, and you'll get the weekly newsletter and explore a whole bunch of open posts, recordings, and downloads in our free section. And if you like what we're doing here and you're ready for some TLC, then consider upgrading your account to access the masterminds, the coaching calls, and our ongoing training. So if you're ready to take your leadership to the next level, then the Leadership Club is the place for you to do it. Thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to welcoming you to the club.